Let us understand about the two more classes, that is ROLLUP and CUBE. Let's see that one. What is the difference between the two, ROLLUP and CUBE class? These are the two types of classes are there. To find, so basically the first one is ROLLUP. Whenever to find sub and grand total of the given group of values, we taken this rollup. This mainly rollup classes is finding the sub and grand total based on a single column, whereas in cube class is finding sub and grand total based on multiple columns. These two classes can be used along with the group by. Let's see the syntax first. So basically it will gives the grand total or subtotal on the single column, whereas in cube class it will give the grand total or subtotal based on the multiple columns. Let's see the syntax of that one, and it will works on the group by using the group by. It will be used. Okay, when we see the syntax, select and represented with 10 columns. Let's see a first one and column 2 and so on from the table. From table, and we have to use the group by, and according to that we have to roll up or whatever we require that we given here, cube, and followed by column. This is the syntax, how it will be. Okay, when we see here this, when we are selecting the column and from the table, and we use the group by when we use this one classes, these two, and roll up cube, whatever we require for if we want to applied on a single column, then we use the roll up. If we want to apply multiple columns, I means what means here, um, if we want the grand total or subtotal of the column, then we use this rollup and cube classes, and we will see the example for this one in detail. This is the syntax. Let's go to the MySQL server DBA. When we see here, there is a table. First of all, when we go to here, let's connect with this one. Here the database is DB3 and we are in the database DB3, and here there is an employee table. Let's execute this one. Here is the data presented here. In this one there are 5 columns are there: employee number, e-name, job, salary, and department number. In this one I want to know the, first of all I want to group the jobs here. Whatever listed here, there are basically sales, data entry analyst, and there is a manager and sales. Sales are 2, data entry are 2, analyst are 2, manager is 1. And I want to, first of all I want to group these jobs, and I want to find out the department wise subtotal and grand total of that one. Okay, let's first of all, when we discuss about the roll up, it will works on the single column. Let's see that one first. In single column, what is the syntax that we followed here? Select. I want to take the job column along with the count of that one from table, from emp table, and I want to group by the row. Here we have to use the group by, and followed by I want the total of the single column. So represent the roll up here, and followed by the column. What we want to get the job total. So let's keep the job here. Whatever we represented in this select position, that column only we have to keep here. And let's execute this one. Let's see the output. Here we see there is a null position, means first of all there is no, and there is a null is also present in the table, so it shows one. And analyst, whatever the it will be taken here, all the jobs are listed here. But when we see here, it will be roll up, and means analyst is 2, data entry is 1, and data entry is 1. These are the subtotal for each and every one, every job of that. It is the subtotal here, where last seventh record, when we see here, there is a null and the total, that subtotal of all them are add, and we will get this 8. This is the grand total of this job column, and we roll up the job column, so we get this answer according to this subtotal. This is the grand total, these are the subtotal of individual one. So let's also give the cube to this single column. Let's see what will happen. Select job and count of star from table, and group by. Now we want to use cube here, and column. Okay, when we execute this one, here it will also shows the same when what you used in the rollup. Here there is no difference between these two. When we use the in single column, this rollup, whatever it will do, which will get the subtotal and also the grand total, whereas in the cube, that also will get the subtotal and the grand total of a single column. But when we see the difference between these two, we have to take the multiple columns. When we see here, it is a get the same thing when we use this roll up also. That is the it is the subtotal of the jobs, and also it is a grand total of these all jobs, means it works on the job and get the both the things of. When we use this single column, it is same. Okay, let's see the difference between these two, why we use this one, roll up and cube. It will be differentiate when we use the multiple column. Let's take two columns here. Select job and count of star, along with I want to take department number. From emp table, group by, first of all see the roll up on job. Okay, let's execute this one. Here we are taking multiple columns, so let's take the department number also. Let's execute this one and we will see the here what is happened here. When we see each and every job, this is it is based on the single column, it will be works on the roll up. And when we discussed about the roll up, it will works only on single column, gets the subtotal and grand total of the column. So when we work on this roll up, here the job whatever we represented here, that will not affected to the department number column, because we are it is only for single column, so it will works on the job column, not the department number. When we see data entry, here the 10 and the data entry of 1, it will be null because it does not works on the department number column, it only works on this. Okay, here there are 4 types of data entry. Why this will be happen means, when we using this one, it will gets the subtotal will be null. When we see here, it will taken as null and it will gets this one, but here the department number, it will not affected to this one, means if we didn't get the subtotal and grand total of the department number, so it does not affected to this one. Okay, it only works on the job column only. Let's see the select job count of star department number from emp and group by cube job and department number. Let's execute this one. What is the here the syntax is bu. Okay, by here we see it works on the department number column also, means the subtotal and also the grand total of the two columns, job and department number. This cube will works on both the two, whatever we taken here, job and column and department column. When we see here null data entry 10 and the this is the total grand total, analyst 20, sales 20, and here when we see here whatever there in the table, that all are presented last, the analyst null and data entry null, all these things. When we see there is no, this is the grand total and this is the subtotal, and means it will gets individual subtotal and also the grand total of each column, both the columns we will get all these things. Okay, data entry 10 and this will be, these are the count of, when we see here it will takes 8 here. When we discussed about this one, here analyst is 2, data entry is 1 and manager 1, sales will be 2. Whatever it is that present in the table, all these things will be come under below. whereas here it will be takes the grand total, and these are the subtotals of that one, and it also applied to this department table, department column, and along with the job column. Okay, when we see the table here once again, let's do it in another, take another tab, and we will understand in detail here. Okay, when we see here, data entry is 2, analyst is 20. When we execute this one, we will get these columns of each individual one. Sales is 2, so it represents the sales is 2 here, whereas here it shows the sales 2 and 20. When we see the data entry, here is one data entry, here is another data entry, but these two are, we will get the subtotal and grand total. This will be whatever the tables are there, and that means whatever the column, whatever the jobs are present, all these things that we be see here. When we go and see the table here, when we see here, all the things that should be taken under here, last row is column, is all these are null. It will also take this one, so that's why it shows 2 times null here. Okay, it shows null because it also row is one null, and that's the difference between these two. This is the syntax, where this rollup is used for single column, cube class is used for multiple columns, and to finding the sub, first of all, basically it will both will get the subtotal and the grand total. These two are used for this only, but the main difference is it will be used for multiple columns, it will be used for single column. Okay, when we works on the single column, it will be same output will be represented, means output will be get. When we use the multiple column, then when we will see the difference between those. Here it will roll up only works on the single column of this one. When we see the cube class, it will works on both columns. When we see that job column and department, we will get the, first of all we will get the subtotal and grand total of the all the jobs, along with that whatever the in the data, means the whatever the jobs are present, analyst job. If analyst is 2, it will also represent that analyst will be 2, and the sales are 2, and it will also represent. When we go to here, see here, sales is 2, data entry is 1 1. Okay, analyst is 2 2. Okay, like this it will be represented, whereas here it will be subtotal, this is the grand total, this is the subtotal of that one. Like that it will be get. Along with that, it will also represented the department number wise, all will get a subtotal, grand total, and that all which is represented, it will shows here. When we see here, it will shows null, it will not take this one. Not from here. From here, let's see this one. Null, null, null. When we see here, it will take this one. Like that. This is the cube class. In rollup, it only works on the job column. It will only get this only. It will not taken this. When we go to here and execute that one, let's see the difference between those. This is the cube, this single column. This is the cube column. Okay, this is the rollup. Let's execute this one. Here we see it will only works on this one. It will get only the data will be represented here, but the subtotal and grand total only works on this job column only. That's the difference between the rollup and cube.